Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is October 2nd, 2025, and Barcelona currently working on two new ventures that could bring in a lot of money for the club. Also, Argentinian media outlets continue to link Barcelona with a River Plate star, or upcoming star, rising star if you want to put it that way. And finally, changes or possible changes to the Club World Cup that could affect Barcelona in the future. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and today I have a lot of good news. Unlike the last video, we started with bad news, ended with good news. Today, we're starting with good news because why not? But the first good news is that Barcelona are currently working on two new ventures that could bring a lot of money to the club. Now, Joan Laporta and the board of directors will be holding a general assembly, a meeting with the Socis on October 19th, during which they will be seeking the approval of two new deals. The first deal is a deal that I already told you about in previous videos, which is the deal with Midea. This is an agreement that has already been reached between FC Barcelona and the Chinese electronics company Midea for a sponsorship deal, where Midea will appear on the Barcelona kit, on the sleeve more specifically, and replace Ambilight, which is the current sponsor that appears on Barcelona's sleeve. So this deal has already been reached. It's already been announced. So this is going to be just an approval, like, hey, this is what we signed. This is how much money it's going to bring in, etc., etc., etc. If you want more details about the sponsorship deal, I did announce in a previous video, which of course is on the channel. Now, the second deal that Barcelona will be seeking approval of during that meeting on October 19th will be a deal or a plans or a venture to start opening FC Barcelona themed restaurants. Now, this would be a partnership between Barcelona and a company called Nova Dial Corporate. If you don't know who Nova Dial Corporate is, it's a company owned by Felix Sancho Arnaiz, and he partnered up with Real Madrid 2 years ago to launch Real Madrid themed restaurants. In fact, they have already opened a couple. The first one is called Uno by Real Madrid, which is located in Ciudad Mexico or Mexico City, which serves hamburgers and milkshakes. The other one, which is the same theme kind of restaurant, is located in Ciudad Juarez. So Real Madrid have already launched this kind of venture of opening Real Madrid themed restaurants all around the world, and while Barcelona want to do the same, and they will be partnering up with the same company, Nova Dial Corporate. Now, why the difference where Midea was already announced and agreed to, and now they're seeking approval? Because this venture with the restaurants is a different type of venture where Barcelona first need to seek approval. This is kind of like opening Barcelona academies. They need to seek approval first before they start working on it. So on October 19th, they will be explaining the whole plans, what the plans are, how much money can generate, etc., etc. And if the General Assembly approves it, then Barcelona will move forward with the plan to start opening FC Barcelona restaurants around the world. And that, of course, is exciting because it's more money for the club. And, of course, that helps expand the FC Barcelona brand. By the way, if there's anyone watching from Mexico, have you been to the Uno by Real Madrid restaurant? I've been to Ciudad Mexico. I loved it. But I was definitely not looking to eat hamburgers and milkshakes. That was the last thing on my mind. I was there to eat as many tacos as I could. But if anyone's been to one of those restaurants, or that restaurant, Ciudad Mexico, or maybe Ciudad Juarez, let me know down below in the comment section. Now, I announced at the beginning of this video that I'm going to be telling you about two new ventures. The first one is the restaurants. The second venture that Barcelona should be announcing in the next few days is a new sponsorship with Enrique Tomás. If you don't know Enrique Tomás, it's a brand of ham. You know, Spain is very known for what's called jamón ibérico, or ham. Very delicious. If you ever go to Spain, make sure you get some ham. But Enrique Tomás is a brand, is a ham maker. They sell the actual product, and they also have restaurants and shops where you can go buy them all around the world. And it's reported that Barcelona have reached a sponsorship agreement with Enrique Tomás that should be announced in the next few days. Now, what is the extent of the sponsorship? How much money? For how long? Is the logo going to appear anywhere? We still don't know. We just know that Barcelona have reached an agreement with Enrique Tomas for a sponsorship deal. And of course, in the next few days, we'll know more. And I'll be here to tell you all about it. So make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification so you can stay up to date on all Barcelona news. All right, from these two ventures, which of course will generate lots of money for the club, we now move on to the next bit of news because Argentinian media outlets continue to link Barcelona with a River Plate rising star called Ian Subidabre. Now, I talked about Ian Subidabre over the summer. He's an 18-year-old right winger who recently got promoted to River Plate's first team. I think he already has 18 or 19 appearances. He's known for his dribbling abilities and his, one-on-1v1 skills. And Barcelona have been monitoring this player for quite some time. And more importantly, his contract expires in 2026, December 2026, because of course, in Argentina, they're in the global south, or south of the equator, so their summers are winters and vice versa, so their contracts are always a little different. They usually expire December versus June with European contracts. But Ian Subidabre's contract expires December of 2026, which means in 2 months he will be entering the final year of his contract, which of course this could mean a huge discount for Barcelona if they decide to sign this rising star. And if they do, it would be a Barca Athletic signing. Now, what's the problem? The problem is that River Plate are trying very hard to extend the contract of Ian Subidabre and, of course, increase the release clause. So, because they know he's going to eventually be sold and they want to make as much money as possible. But so far, no agreement. Why? Because there's currently disagreement between the player's agent and River Plate over the release clause. River Plate won a 100 million euro release clause, where the player and his agent want a release clause that's more affordable, something around 35 to 40 million euros. So far, no renewal agreement. But if he does renew, then most likely, or 99.9%, is that Barcelona will just move on and not try to sign this youngster. Because, of course, even if they do agree to the 35 to 40 million, that's still a lot of money for an 18-year-old who would be a Barca Athletic signing. It just does not make any sense. Now, of course, who else is interested? I think you could guess this without me even telling you. Chelsea, because, well, they're interested with anyone with a heartbeat and 2 legs. All right, let's end this video with the news that there could be changes to the Club World Cup, which potentially could affect FC Barcelona. Now, as you know, or maybe not, but right now there's a current maximum of how many clubs from a country can participate in the Club World Cup, and that's 2 clubs per country. Now, of course, in Europe, the countries or the clubs qualify based on what's called the UEFA coefficient, which is based on the last 4 seasons of the Champions League. And again, only 2 clubs per country can qualify. It was Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid that qualified to this first version of the Club World Cup that happened over the summer. But now FIFA are considering increasing that to 3 clubs per country. Why? Because, of course, some very important teams missed this Club World Cup, including the champions of Spain, FC Barcelona, the champions of the Premier League, Liverpool, and the champions of the Serie A, Napoli. So how can you call that a Club World Cup? Or the champion, how can they be the world champion when, well, the 3 champions of the 3 of the best leagues in the world are not present, right? So FIFA looking to change that rule to make sure, this thing doesn't happen in the future. And also, FIFA are currently in talks with UEFA to see maybe if they can increase the competition to 48 teams and to be held every 2 years, which UEFA are totally against holding it every 2 years because, of course, it can interfere with an incredibly hectic calendar that clubs already have in Europe. I don't know about the 2 years. I think it gets to a point where there's too much football is too much. Because when you have a tournament every other day, you reach a point where you're like, all right, that's too much. Every 2 years is too much. And again, these players are already playing a match every 3 hours. The last thing we need is another competition that's every 2 years. But what do I know? Anyways, let me know down below in the comment section. What do you think about these new rules for the Club World Cup? Would you like to see it every 2 years, every 4 years? let me know. And of course, I did post another video a few moments ago. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check it out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. And as always, be scarce.